Hey there, gamers. Second review right now. Another review right now. And yeah, it's Frogger. But this is a special version of Frogger. It's Frogger on the Sega Genesis. As you can see, it said 1998 by Majesco and Hasbro. But yeah, so this version of Frogger is actually special in that it is the last officially licensed game ever on the Sega Genesis. I believe it's the last one in general, last one, if you're counting Japan, Asia, Europe, well, maybe not Asia, I'm not so sure about Asia, but at least in North America it is. And this was back in like the early days of Majesco when the company got the rights to, make the Genesis 3, and they got rights to a bunch of other games from Sega to re-release, same with the Game Gear a few years later. But this one they developed, and they teamed up, and they also released a version on the SNES, but the SNES version is generally not really well liked. That version is not really considered to be a good version. They changed a little too much and it just didn't come up right. This version, the Genesis version, is pretty much a straight up arcade port. So yeah, you just use the D-pad in this one. You don't use any bit of the buttons at all. You just use the D-pad. And if you don't know what Frogger is, then maybe you're a little young. Frogger is a classic, though. The idea is just to take frogs, get them... Okay. The idea is to get the frogs, get them across the street, then across the river, all within the time limit. Then you gotta do 5. So I can't really say too much about it. I mean, it's Frogger. It's a classic, it's a fun game. I just really wanted to show off the Genesis version, because this version is probably not... You have to make sure they get them in there exactly. But this version, is a little maybe uncommon. It's the last officially licensed Sega game. So all those Super Fighter Team translations of those Chinese RPGs and the upcoming Pierre Solar RPG, they're not official one bit. The controls work fine. The D-pad, works perfect. So, and again, that's all you use. You just use the D-pad, no buttons or anything. There we go. 5 in their home. Move the camera a little bit. Okay. Now I'm on stage 2. And as they go on, they add stuff like, alligators that you can potentially jump on. Stuff moves by faster. And of course the music, is really fun too. And if you like Frogger, this is just, a fun version of it. Sheesh. Yes, as you can tell, I'm apparently not that good at this game. I can listen to that music forever. Like I've been saying, I can't really say much else about this game. It's a classic. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. But this is a very solid... Damn! This is a very solid port of Frogger, of the old arcade game. And, little extra pictures added here and there for the Genesis version, though. So I'll just play on me for a couple more minutes, Let's see if I can do any better this time. There you go. And Frogger, well, I'll talk a little bit more about Frogger. Pretty much it's out on the Wii. There's Frogger Returns on WiiWare. I haven't tried that game out, but pretty much it's a remake of Frogger. The old school gameplay style. Why did I do that? The street is easy enough to avoid. Like I said, this is a classic game, pretty much. Activision did their own version with chickens called Freeway on the 2600. Which was pretty fun. Well, we put that one down. But sometimes you just can't beat the original. But yeah, like I said, Frogger Returns on WiiWare kind of brought back the old style Frogger, where the past few years, Frogger pretty much they tried making Frogger into this, series of three-dimensional platformers. There we go. But yeah, like, yeah, Majesco released this one, Hasbro helped them out with it, and they of course credit Konami because it is a Konami title. That'd be like making a Street Fighter and you don't credit Capcom. Or a Mario game, and somehow you make a Mario game and you don't credit Nintendo. I'm sure even the CDI Mario game and the 3 Zelda games, credit Nintendo. As much as Nintendo, now wants to denounce those games as if they never happened. I'm literally playing this game one-handed, people. Like, I'm only holding control with one hand because that's all it uses, just the D-pad. Yeah, I paid like a little more than $10 for this one, admittedly. Like I said, it's not a common version of the game. Now I'm doing great. Yeah, this is from the old school arcade style where it's just about getting the high score. Is it me there or like, it looks like there are race cars on the street. What is this, Driven? Whoa. And yeah, you get bonus points for picking up like, dang. You get points for picking up the spiders that are on the logs or getting the bugs that appear in the safe zones. Dang. At least I made 10. I went past 10,000 at least. Ah, sheesh. Okay, last life. I'm gonna do one more life on this. As you can tell, I am an expert in this game. What? Wait a minute. But yeah, this is Frogger. It's solid. It's a solid enough port of the game. Game over. So, till next time.